What's up, guys? So I just got back from my hunt in North Carolina, and I was gonna try to kind of put together a hunting video. At this point, it's kind of gonna be more of a bullet review / hunting video. So it's hard to video by yourself, and I'm not willing to sacrifice, missing a deer because I'm trying to video something. So I pretty much had two ways to video. I had my Tacticam on the gun, which works, but it's not the greatest for long distance since I'm hunting in big fields. And then I have my phone scope set up on my spotting scope. So the downside to the spotting scope is, great videos, but the minimum zoom is 20 power. So, the field of view is very small, even at 200-300 yards. So it's hard to follow deer, especially during a rut as they're running, and get the camera on them and then get your gun on them and shoot them. And it just happens really quick. And then a few of the times where they were standing still, I had a problem where one time they were way to my right. So as I'm aiming the spotting scope over there, trying to get the spotting scope on them, the phone is all the way out here, so I'd have to stick my head like out the blind window almost to actually see if the scope is on them. So that didn't really work. And then another time, the ground blind, I was hunting in wooden box blind, so the railing I had my gun on was 2x4 and it was a little bit rotted. So as I got my gun up, it's rocking a little bit, and that's rocking the spotting scope, so that didn't work. And then just didn't really get any of the videos I was hoping. I really wanted to get like a slow motion video of my phone of the gun, hitting the deer or whatever, but that didn't exactly happen. Now, I did a little poll before I went down there, and I know I don't have a ton of subscribers, but only 13 people answered it about which gun I should use. So a lot of people said the 7 Rem Mag, but what I ended up using was this guy. This is my Savage 110 Stealth Evolution. This is in 300 Win Mag. So I absolutely love this gun. This is a Nikon FX 1000, one of their last scopes they actually made. So that is an awesome glass too. It's one of the most expensive scopes I have, and it's super clear. And the reason I decided to use that gun is this was when I was confirming my load before I went down there. So I cleaned the gun before I went to the range. These top 2 shots here are with a clean bore, and then the next 8 shots are this hole here. So if you measure the outside and then subtract 308, I think it was like a half MOA group or whatever. Of course, my kitten sees me playing with this, and if you see a paw popping up, that's him. He's 3 months old and he likes attention. So anyway, I chose this gun because it is super good group. So I was shooting a 212 ELD-X at 2,875 feet per second. So let me get to some of the footage of the animals and stuff, and then I'll show you the one bullet I recovered, and we'll go over, kind of my feelings of how that bullet performed, which in my opinion, I thought it worked awesome. What's up, guys? First morning down here in North Carolina. This is the field I'm hunting over. We got a nice big oak in the corner. There is a turkey out there, if you guys can see that. Only thing I've seen so far. And we got my 300 Win Mag. This is probably the only place I could really hunt with this gun since it's so big and heavy. And since it's my most accurate gun and it's got the best glass, I figured I'd use it down here. So, wish me some luck. Hopefully some deer start coming out. Alright guys, so unfortunately things happened kind of quick and I wasn't able to get the spotting scope camera going, but as you can see, there's a doe there, dropped her in her tracks at 300 yards, and then a couple minutes later a buck came running out, and again he was running across the field, and he was about to go into the woods, and I was able to get him before he did. Don't know if I'll be able to get him on camera. He's somewhere right on the edge. There he is. He's right there, dead center. You can kind of see the body right there in the middle, sitting in the weeds. So let's go get them before it gets any hotter out. We got 2 deer to skin and butcher now. Alright guys, so there's the doe there. She dropped, obviously. And here's the buck here. He was about to run into the stick shit before I shot him. So 300 Win Mag definitely did the trick. It's a decent little 7-pointer. Nothing special, but definitely a nice deer for eating. Let's get these things back to the cabin and we'll see how much damage that 300 Win Mag really did. Alright, so it was a slightly quartering away shot. There's the entry hole there. So my holdover was perfect. Let's see if we got an exit wound. there we go. Came out high shoulder, which is why he dropped. So the ELD-X did the job, dropped him, and it exited. You know, hear a lot of reports of them fragmenting and staying inside the deer, but obviously that wasn't the case with this one. All right, so I don't remember which way the doe was facing. I did have my Tacticam on, so I can look at that, but I don't see a hole on this side. Let's flip her over. Got a hole on this side. So, hit her a little high. That's probably why she dropped. Alright, so this doe is all hung up. So, this hole here is actually the entry, because as I was pulling the skin off of this hind quarter, I heard my knife hit metal. And sure enough, there is that ELD-X bullet. So it went through entries down here. It went through at least 2.5 feet of deer. And it does not look like it completely exploded. Look at that. Bullet actually performed very well. Alright guys, so I was hunting out of that stand right there on the right, the newer one, and I got another doe. Now all I could see was the top of its back and its head and neck. It's amazing, these soybeans are probably 3 feet tall or so, but they completely hide deer. There was a couple following this wood line here, and I could barely see them except for the head. So since all I could see was the top of the back, head and neck, I knew where the body was, but my problem was if I'm shooting through the soybeans, am I just going to go through a little patch like this to hit the body, or is it, 10 feet of soybeans? So I just aimed for the neck, and holy shit. Yeah, the 300 does it again. God damn. Well, at least I didn't mess up any of the shoulder or back straps. Alright guys, so here's a quick little video of the damage to the lungs from the first doe that I shot. Actually, this is not the doe, this is the buck. But you can see massive hole. Pretty much the same damage to all the deer. I didn't really want to take a video of every single deer's guts, but you can just see the lungs are destroyed. Sometimes you hear about people saying the lungs got turned to mush and jello, which I've never personally seen, but these things are destroyed. They have big holes through them, and this was the same exact results I got from every single deer that I shot. Alright guys, so here is that bullet I pulled out of that doe. This thing weighs 103 grains, so we lost 108. Pretty much 50% weight retention, which isn't the greatest. So it was a 300-yard shot. It went through the shoulder and found it in the hind quarter, so probably at least 2 feet of penetration. Got pretty wide. The petals, as you can see, didn't fold perfectly flat. They're pretty jagged. It's about 0.8 of an inch wide. But overall, I'm impressed with this. I shot 5 deer down there, and they all dropped in their tracks. Obviously, the one doe was through the neck, but the rest of them were just vital shots. Some would touch high in the body cavity, but they didn't go through the spine, so this thing was just dropping them. But it also could be the fact that I was using a 300 Win Mag. I've never used a 300 before, and it's definitely awesome when every deer you shoot just goes right down. Usually I use my 6.8 SPC. It's kind of my main gun, and they always go down, but they run 30, 40 yards, sometimes 50, which can be a nightmare somewhere like down south where they did a clear cut and it's growing back and it's just super thick. But anyway, I'm impressed. So, this weekend maybe I'll take out we have opening rifle here in New York, so I might take out the 7 Rem Mag here because the 300 is just way too heavy to hike around in the woods with. Down south, it's a perfect setup for that gun. But as always, guys, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll keep you updated on how the hunting season goes.